Hey, how everyone? Ginger Gargoyle here with a. It's not a haul, and it's not a project, but it's a how-to. How to prepare your buttons for going onto a card. Very much like the one that I did for this week's Color Throwdown Challenge. Okay. Now I have my iPad on the stand because I'm going to need two hands to do this. You're going to need some very simple things. A shank button. If you have just a regular button, you can go ahead and use that. You know, the kind with the regular old holes. Forgive the noise in the background, guys. I am watching Sense and Sensibility right now with Emma Thompson, and I've seen it before, but it's got Alan Rickman in there, and I love Alan Rickman. Anyways, and you're going to need yourself some blunt nose wire cutters. Yes, I said wire cutters. See how they're flat? Okay. If you use the kind that cut on the side in the little hole, you will end up having more of the shank left over, and that can cause some problems later on where it just does not want to sit down flat. Now, you're also going to need a little bit of sandpaper. This is a little sample that came in a free gift that I got from Scrapbooking Made Simple, and I use just a regular old medicine bottle. Now hopefully I'll be able to get a good shot of this. First things first, look at your button. Okay, you can see that this button has 3 layers. 1, 2, 3. That means that chances are when I get done snipping off this pink back, the pink and the yellow will come off. I'll have to figure out how I'm going to glue them together again. You can use a hot glue. You can use like an airplane glue, because airplane glue is made, or modeling glue is made to stick plastic to plastic. It bonds it together. I use double stick tape on my on my card, and I'll see how well that sticks as the time goes on. But if you can possibly separate the back part off first, the better off you will be. Okay. And the reason I say that is, okay, I actually do not want to separate the pink and the yellow, because you're not going to get a flush cut no matter what you do with the pliers. It's not going to work. I'm going to have to do this. Okay. Now, depending on the strength of your hand, sometimes you can go all the way through. But you can see that this is not going to be a perfectly flush cut. I don't have that strong hands. So, I'm going to cut one side first. Okay. Then I'm going to cut the other side. Oh. Okay. And that leaves me my button. But you can see it is not flush. These are raised up just a little bit. That's where your sandpaper comes in handy. If you can do it, you can simply rub it down. I found I was having a hard time doing that, so I put it on a bottle so it was kind of a little bit rounded, and then I was able to go back and forth. Sorry for the shaking, guys. There's really not much I can do. I have to have this in my lap because it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I don't have a light in my craft room for this time of night. And it's bitterly cold in there right now. My craft room is located right over my well room on the farm. So, okay. You can see that this is doing a really good job at wearing this down. Now, it doesn't need to be a real fine. If you don't have sandpaper, go ahead and use an emery board. It doesn't need to be real fine. It doesn't need to be real coarse. Just something you would use on your regular old scrapbooking is fine. This could go down just a little bit more, I think. I'm really sorry for the shaking, guys. There's not much I can do to prevent it. Okay, so this is fairly flat. And you can see that it took off some of the color on the back. That's okay. That'll be against the paper. But you'll also find that this is loosened up really well now. Okay? That's why I said if you can separate these out first and get it off from the back, then you can cut it and it should be nearly flush down to the back. But I'm afraid if I cut it now, it'll be too short. But I'll give it a go. I'll give it a try. Yours is not to do or die. Yours is but to do or try, or however that one goes. Yours is not to question why. Yours is but to do or die. That's the way that one goes. Okay, that's not the quote I wanted. Okay, then you put it back on. See, so if you separate it, then you can snip it and then you can put it back on and it should stay fairly well. Or you can do it the other way. See, it didn't work out quite as well. I think that was about as short as I could get it from this. Okay, but like I said, that'll be covered up. Now, what I did in the card was, as long as this was separated, that's when I painted over this part of the butterfly with the black Spectrum Noir and let it dry completely before I put the wings back on. And you can see that there's kind of a roughage there, or discoloration. That was because that's how they joined these together. And if I wanted to, I could even separate out these yellow ones. What this does is, if you have a different insert color from a different butterfly you'd like to use, then you can simply do this and switch those out. So it's kind of like the mix and matches. I've done that with flowers. I've done that with just regular old buttons, where it's been a surround to a shank and I didn't like the surround, so I took the surround off. Or that type of thing. But they're basically interchangeables. Now, if I took this down just a little bit farther on the back, put this down just a little bit farther on the back, which of course now it's being a total booger butt. Okay. Then when I get ready to glue this down, I would flip it over, find the spot that would hold the most. You can use either with these type of buttons. I use double stick tape. I find they work the best. I've tried using the Zot dots. I didn't have it flushed down, so I found that they popped off after a while. You could use hot glue. In fact, hot glue is probably the one that you would want to use the most. But that is my how-to. How to prepare a shank button for going onto your card. Okay, guys, that's it for now. I'll have another how-to for you guys sometime in the future. I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to do. But you guys have a good night. Bye.